Hey everybody, I'm JJ Johnson. You're watching Reality Survival. So this is just kind of a question of the week. I had Jory Humphreys who says, do you believe in caches of weapons and supplies off your property? So let me just talk a little bit about caches and some of the pros and cons of doing those and what my thoughts are. I think most people don't have the resources to be able to put, guns and ammo and food and water and stuff like that in a cache anywhere off their property. And the reason is there's just the risk of someone seeing you put it in, the risk of someone taking it, the risk of you not being able to find it again. It's a pretty big risk. And then on top of that, you have to, when you're planning this out, you're going to have to plan it fairly carefully because you don't know what the situation is that's causing you to leave. So you may be forced to travel in, say, a northerly direction from where you live, but your cache may be down south. So if you are going to put caches off of your property, my recommendation would be putting them in the four cardinal directions, away from your home if you can, because you just don't know where you're going to have to go. Now, if you live on a sea coast or something, obviously, if you're on the east coast right by the water, then maybe you don't have to put anything out to the east, but you still would probably want to put something north, south, and to the west, that kind of thing. We just may not have the freedom of travel and the freedom of movement to be able to get to just one location or one direction. So that would be, kind of a big concern there. The second thing is going back to check on them and to digging them up and all that kind of stuff. It just doubles the possibilities of exposure, to someone seeing you and that kind of thing, and then having it, be stolen or whatnot. I think it makes a lot of sense to try, if you are going to have a cache, having some on your property, somewhere on your property that if, it was searched by government agents or whatever the case may be, then they're not going to likely find something that's buried on your property. There's also a lot less risk of that being discovered or tampered with and those kind of things. So I think it definitely does make sense to do something like that on your property. Some other alternatives for that can be putting stuff at a good friend's house that you trust, someone that you've known for a long time or something along those lines. I think that makes sense. You could also look at using a storage container, like at the used store it kind of places or whatever. Just getting a small locker or a small storage area there, and having some supplies there. That could be a potential good option as well. Obviously, if you have a bug out location, having stuff there would be good, or even caching supplies at the bug out location underground could be a good alternative too. But in the traditional sense of the word, where you're having caches off of your property, buried in a national forest or something along those lines, it's not necessarily a terrible thing to do, but I think most people just don't realistically have the resources to be able to do that, and they worry about it getting found or ruined or whatever the case may be. So I probably wouldn't recommend it for the most part. But if you've got the resources to do it, well then, hey, just consider putting one in the different directions, because you may not be able to get to that one, depending on what the situation is. So anyway, that is my thoughts and the answer to that question. I hope it was helpful. Thank you for all the subscribers who have been using the Amazon link. I definitely appreciate that, and it has made a huge difference. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and it really helps the channel out, helps us keep the channel free, so we don't have to do Patreon and all that kind of stuff. I also appreciate it when you click the thumbs up button, when you share it with your friends on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+, and don't forget to live the 6 Ps. Proper prior preparation prevents poor performance. Stay safe, guys. We'll see you on another video here soon.